FA Cup semi-finals, ahoy! Immortals meet in the Champions League round of 16. The LA Galaxy push the boundaries of social media. Taylor Twellman has a bar chart to share with you. Honduras and Panama show their hands. Mexican referees emerge victorious. And Ryan Bailey's team prepares a special welcome. Good morning, it's Tuesday, March 14th. I'm Daryl Grove and you're listening to The Goalmouth. We'll start today's serving of bite-sized soccer news at Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea beat Manchester United 1-0 on Monday in the FA Cup quarter-final. The goal came from a man who I think is a genuine contender for the Ballon d'Or next year, N'Golo Kanté. That's the man who made it 1-0. He doesn't just do defensive midfieldering, he also does midfield goal scoring. But this game is going to be mostly remembered for Manchester United's, I want to say, tactical approach to Eden Hazard, which was essentially to take turns fouling the Belgian attacker. An approach that Mourinho knows works because when he was Chelsea manager not so long ago, other teams would use the exact same tactic on Eden Hazard, who was the most fouled player in the Premier League under Mourinho's reign. Unfortunately for Mourinho, his United team went a little too hard and Ander Herrera got himself sent off for 2 fouls on Hazard. The moral here is, if you're going to play dirty in the Garden of Eden, then you'd better not get caught. Immediately after the game, we had the draw for the FA Cup semi-finals, which will happen April 22nd and 23rd. And I want to say the magic of the cup is back, but not in the giant killery kind of way, in the big teams playing each other kind of way. The semi-finals are going to be Chelsea versus Spurs and Arsenal versus Manchester City. Those are your FA Cup semi-finals. No more weakened teams, just big teams going at each other at Wembley. April 22nd, April 23rd. A quick reminder that there is Champions League action today, the second leg of the round of 16 games between Leicester City and Sevilla and Juventus and Porto. Fox Sports 1 is showing Leicester City v Sevilla. Leicester have new manager Craig Shakespeare, but are 2-1 down from the first leg. In the other game, Juventus hosts Porto. Juventus are already 2-0 up. My favourite storyline from this game is that it's Gigi Buffon in goal for Juventus versus Iker Casillas in goal for Porto in a battle of the Immortals. Whichever goalkeeper wins the tie on aggregate gets to behead the other keeper and scream, "There can be only one." That post-match ceremony will be on a very special section of the Fox Sports Go app. Subscribers only. In American soccer news, the LA Galaxy social media team have a viral sensation on their hands after they released a video showing Portland Timbers midfielders Diego Chara and David Guzman flopping their way into outer space. If you're unfamiliar with the backstory, this is because in Sunday night's game between the LA Galaxy and Portland Timbers, Chara and Guzman both took dives, each getting a yellow card for Jelle Van Damme, the LA Galaxy captain and defender, eventually getting Van Damme sent off. Van Damme was kind of like Ander Herrera, except 100% innocent instead of 0% innocent. I'm fascinated by the Galaxy's Chara Guzman meme, not just because it's been really popular, but because this is the first time I can remember one team's social media account really going after opposition players in a hard way, and it kind of being justified. Also on Sunday, during the ESPN broadcast of that snowy Minnesota-Atlanta game, Taylor Twellman shared some data about what I want to call the Premier Leagueification of Major League Soccer. Here's the data he had. It was about on opening day of Major League Soccer between 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, the percentage of American-born starters, and it's going down. In 2014, 51% of starters were American-born. 2015, it was 47%. 2016, 46%. 2017, 42%. If, like me, you look at Major League Soccer as a sort of production line for future US men's national team talent, these numbers can seem alarming. You can look at the trend line and think that maybe US players are being slowly but surely squeezed out of Major League Soccer by the seemingly endless influx of choosing a nationality and position at random, let's say Argentinian playmakers. But it's worth remembering that the phrase American-born doesn't include players like Darlington Nagbe, who's already kind of key to the US men's national team, or at least should be, Kakuta Mane, who one day will be, Jermaine Jones, who was born in Germany, and Juan Agudelo, who was born in Colombia. And I think the current 2017 low of 42% of American-born players on opening day of Major League Soccer 2017 comes at a time of sort of generational shift. We have the homegrown player sort of revolution happening right now, with guys like 17-year-old Paxton Pomykal playing for FC Dallas this past weekend. He didn't play opening day, so he doesn't count in the percentage. Guys like Andrew Carlton coming through at Atlanta United. There is a whole generation of young Americans who might be taking their place in the starting 11s of MLS teams in 2018. So let's put a pin in this story, come back to it in March 2018. If that number goes down again, then maybe we'll start worrying. Speaking of the US men's national team, World Cup qualifiers are coming. A reminder that the US currently has 0 points in their hex. That's why Jurgen Klinsmann was fired, but plays Honduras March 24th. That's 10 days from now, and Panama March 28th. The US roster is expected this week. It's actually expected on Wednesday. Honduras and Panama have named their rosters. The link to both rosters is in today's email if you want to get a good look at who Honduras and Panama have selected for these games. Or if you're the type of person that doesn't like to go into that much detail for your US national team games, just take it from me that just because these are not Mexico and Costa Rica, it doesn't mean Honduras and Panama are not very good teams that the US has to take very, very seriously. Speaking of Mexico, on yesterday's Goalmouth, Brooks brought you the story of how Mexican referees halted action over the weekend and put a stop to all Liga MX soccer. This was because Toluca's Enrique Triviero and Club America's Pablo Aguilar had acted in a threatening way toward referees and only received 8 and 10 game bans. Triviero and Aguilar now have full 1-year bans. The Mexican referees say they are happy and will return to blowing their whistles this coming weekend. So everybody wins, except obviously Triviero and Aguilar. We'll close with a story close to Ryan Bailey's heart. Today, AFC Wimbledon, a team that I know Ryan is a fan of and also I believe one of the co-owners, will host MK Dons in League One. If you don't know the backstory, here it is. MK Dons are essentially the team that stole Wimbledon FC's history and sort of team when the whole thing was relocated to Milton Keynes. That's why it's MK Dons. This led to supporters setting up AFC Wimbledon to keep the spirit of the old team alive. AFC Wimbledon is supporter-owned. They've risen up through non-league football, are now in League One, and tonight they host MK Dons. This is essentially as if the Baltimore Colts marching band got to play football against the Indianapolis Colts. Except in this case, the Baltimore Colts marching band are actually really good at football and have a really good chance of beating the Indianapolis Colts. Security will be tight at King Meadows Stadium, but that's just because everybody wants everybody to stay safe. So good luck to Ryan's team, AFC Wimbledon, and here's hoping the good guys win. Also apologies to any MK Dons fans listening. That's all from me for today. George Qureshi will be with you on Wednesday morning. I'll leave you with today's Goalmouth top tip. Referees need hugs too.